In the deep dark depths of gaming memery is a game called Fight of Animals, a game for 1 to 2 players to play in local multiplayer or in, still functioning as of 2025, online multiplayer, oh yes, so that you can then pick whichever memed animal you want to play as and take it into the battling ring. This all takes place on a 2D plane, although the characters are obviously in full 3D. And the idea behind this is that it's to be as simplistic as possible. And it's not the most simplistic fighter game that I've played to date, but it's certainly towards the easier spectrum. And that's because it's got what they call the easy combo system, which means that so long as you press a direction button and one of the other face buttons on your controller, it will pull off a move of some sort. And what you'll be doing is looking at how you can chain some of those together to perform combos moving across, say, like some punches and kicks as you go along. That does mean that each character doesn't have the biggest skill set in their arsenal compared to other bigger fighter games that are out there. But what it does mean is that each character really handles quite uniquely. And so it pays to play around with them all to kind of see what suits you best. For example, Power Hook Dog has got a really good power hook so that it's got range for that specific move. But for example, Egg Dog, which is like tiny and running around an absolute bugger to try and hit with anything that's a punch, is really only hit well with like little tiny kicks to the floor, or you might be able to do some jumps and try and like punch down from above, whereas Egg Dog is busy doing really short, tiny but very quick moves because it's all about that melee attacks. Some of the other ones, like Slender Cat, has got more range, and Crowzilla can move around quite quickly and zip around the screen, whereas Walking Cat can't so much. And so all of the different versions of your memed animals have different movesets, but also some of them are much better at melee, some of them are a bit more range, some of them are a bit more aerial, and they are genuinely quite unique and different. And I think that says a lot for actually the variety that's in this game and the replayability as you kind of move around the different characters, seeing what suits you. The single player game is all about the arcade mode, for which you will take each character through it to then unlock various different costume varieties as you get to the end of their arcade mode. You can then take it into versus mode, which can be local multiplayer, my apologies, but can also be taken online too, and it still works as of 2025. And I have to say, I've joined up for a couple of matches and it's ran really smoothly, and some bigger games could certainly take some notes from how netcode works in Fight of Animals, because whilst this game is not the most precise out there in the world, the netcode ran smoothly, and bigger games fail to get that right. The PS4 version that I've got comes with loads of extra DLC costumes that the PC version you kind of have to buy in extra. So if you want them all dressed up in Santa costumes, get the PS4 version straight out the bag, because it comes with all of that. And they're quite fun and silly to have, but ultimately don't change any of the actual moment-to-moment gameplay as you go along. Is this going to be something that you spend years of your life playing? Absolutely not. But for a couple of quid when I bought this on sale, I've had a blast. It does get pulled out when we're absolutely drunk in local multiplayer action, when we just want a stupid, silly beat 'em up. And yeah, I think that's kind of where it sits in my pantheon of getting things out for game night. When you're absolutely slaughtered, this is the one that comes out for like 10-15 minutes of stupidity before you move on to something else. Fight of Animals still stands up today in 2025.